Hey everybody, this is Allie. Welcome back to my channel Color Mama 360. It's time for another video. So good morning, good night, good middle of the night, depending on when you're watching. Today's video is going to be the second part of the series that I'm going to be doing, and that's the If I Only Had One series. So you may remember that I think back in December I did If I Only Had One Book Per Illustrator, and that was inspired by Jess over at Coloring Bumblebee when she made her video about what books she would keep if she could only have one per illustrator. And I started thinking after that video that this could kind of become somewhat of a series on my channel for the next few weeks. So today I'm going to be doing If I Only Had One Book Per Category. Now, I chose these categories myself, just kind of looking over my books, what I had multiple of and could form categories for. And the categories that I've come up with are 9 categories, including flower-themed books, autumn/Halloween themed books, Christmas/winter themed books, fantasy and fairy tale books, Creative Havens, the Color Me series, the Tales from series by Hanna Karlzon, the kind of Asian Japanese type books, and then animal focused books. So those are my 9 categories that I'm going to be choosing from today. And I will tell you what other books I was considering for each category, but I won't show them to you because that would be a ton of books. I will, however, show you the book that if I could only keep one from that category, that's the book that I would keep. Now, also while thinking through my answers for this video, I did it a little bit strategically. So for example, there were some categories that I thought back, well, if I'm keeping this book from that other category, then, this one would be good to keep for this category, sort of a thing. So kind of building off of each other as well, which was fun to do when thinking of my answers for this video. So let's go ahead and get started. We're starting with flower themed books. Now, if I could only keep one flower themed book, I would choose World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. Other books that I considered for this category were Botanicum by Maria Troll, The Flowers Coloring Book, which does not have an illustrator listed, The Flower Year by Layla Dooley, and Flowerscape in Paradise. I always forget who that one's by. I will put it up on the screen. But the one that I chose out of those options was World of Flowers. Now, if you remember from my Books Per Illustrator book, the book I choose isn't always maybe my favorite, but like I said, kind of building off of some of my other answers. Sometimes it's the book that I feel like has the most uniqueness or variety of pages. Part of the reason I chose World of Flowers by Johanna Basford is for that. While, yes, it is mostly flower themed, I think you have a good variety of different things to go along with the flowers. Like you have kind of this scene with the shelves. It's like a kitchen or something of some sort. Again, you have like a truck. So you have other things besides just flowers. And I really just like this book. I know it's one of her older ones, but for me, it's one that continues to be one of my favorites, even though I don't color in it too often. I think I have to be in the right mood to just color this many flowers. But I do think that it has a good variety of options, and it is the flower book that I would keep if I could only have one. So that's World of Flowers by Johanna Basford. The next category is autumn themed/Halloween books. Now, I thought about making these 2 separate categories, but I decided to really challenge myself and combine them. And the book that I picked is Halloween by Hanna Karlzon. The other books that I considered for this category was Creepy Kawaii Halloween by Ella Jarzovic, Color Me Halloween by Yonggu, Autumn Charm by Teresa Goodridge, Autumn Harvest by Teresa Goodridge, the Coloring Heaven Halloween special with multiple different artists, and Nice Little Town Halloween by Tatiana Bogema-Stolova. So Halloween by Hanna Karlzon won out. I just think that this is a fantastic book. And if I only had one book out of all of those, I really do think I would pick this one. Even though it may make sense to pick, for some people, to pick the more autumn themed books versus the strictly Halloween. But I just don't think that I could not have this book in my collection. I absolutely love it. It's one of my favorite books. Definitely one of my favorite releases from last year. I'm glad that I didn't wait for the English version to come out and instead bought this version off of iMusic. And I do think that like even this one, you could color this in just autumn. It's not too in your face Halloween. Um, Same with the pumpkins. I know they have faces and they're kind of jack-o'-lantern type, but I think you could still color them anytime. Same with this girl. So there's lots of pages that I feel like you can color throughout that whole season. And I do have this one in my Monster March book ideas video, which I will try to remember to link in the iCards if you're interested in getting some ideas for my Monster March challenge. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, make sure to go check out my Monster March announcement video. I will be giving away a Amazon gift card, and so all the details on how you can get entered to win that are in the Monster March announcement video, which I will try to remember to put in the description. But yeah, if you need some ideas for that challenge, this is a great book. I flipped through that in my ideas video and found some great pages that I wish I was going to have time to do. I don't think that I will, but unfortunately, but it did have some really good options. So if I could only have one autumn themed or Halloween book, I would choose Halloween by Hanna Karlzon. Now, on the note of seasonal books, next is Christmas slash winter themed books. And if I could only have one book from this category, I would choose Color Me Christmas for Kids. Now, this is an example of kind of where I built my answers off of each other. Originally, I had picked Merry Christmas by Hanna Karlzon, but I was like, well, I like Halloween more than I like Merry Christmas. And if I could only have one, book per category, why not diversify my illustrators a little bit? And this is definitely one of my favorite winter Christmas themed books. I may even like this one more than Merry Christmas, so I think that this was a better choice. Some of the other books that I considered for this category were obviously Merry Christmas by Hanna Karlzon, Country Christmas by Teresa Goodridge, Enchanted Christmas by Teresa Goodridge, Home for the Holidays by Teresa Goodridge, Matchstick Mouse, a winter coloring book by Morgan O'Brien, Winter Wonder by R.J. Hampson, 50 Arctic themed miniatures by Camellia Angelkova, and Johanna's Christmas by Johanna Basford. So this one beat out quite a few options, but I love Ella Jarzabek. Um, she was in my illustrator version of this video. She had her own category, and I picked Creepy Kawaii Halloween. So, but yeah, just even looking at this book right now, it makes me want to come back and color it. I know that we're kind of getting out of winter, but yeah, I love that the way that Nutcracker page turned out. This is such a fantastic book, and I think she may have a even more Christmas specific book coming out. I thought that I saw something. I may have even pre-ordered it, and it looked like her work. Um, but now I'm second guessing if it was hers or not because I'm thinking if she already has this one, maybe it was like a kawaii Christmas. Maybe that's what it was. Yeah. And I do think that it's hers. So hopefully. Sometimes it can be hard with these color me books or books that are kind of, in a series like this to tell who the illustrator is. And I wish they would make it a little bit more obvious. I mean, she is the illustrator. Can we not just put her name right here? I think that she deserves credit. She's an amazing illustrator. So I believe, yeah, it's usually on the next page. But so yeah, if I could only have one Christmas or winter themed book, it would be Color Me Christmas for Kids by Ella Jarzabek or Yarzabek or something like that. I heard recently that I'm probably saying it wrong, which while I understand it can be annoying, it's also like frustrating on my end because I can never remember how to say it properly. And even if I did say it properly, I don't think that I can always pronounce it properly anyways. So you know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, okay, next is fantasy and fairy tale category. So this one I included a lot of different I included like myth books, fairy tale books, mostly those two, and one that is a little bit just kind of in my mind fairy tale esque. Um, but the book that I chose is Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes. The other books that were considered for this category are Dark Fairy Tales by Kirby Rosannes, Mythic Worlds by Kirby Rosannes, Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly by Johanna Basford, Fairy Tales and Folklore by Emily Leda Hall Oberg, and Brothers Grimm by Forrest Diver. So, or the Fantastic World of Brothers Grimm. So yeah, Mythomorphia won. And I think the reason for that is because while I love like dark fairy tales, I don't want to color dark stuff all the time. And if I only had one book per category, I wouldn't want just that book. Um, Kind of same thing with Mythic World. I think that this one just has a better selection. And I definitely think that Kirby kind of rules this category for sure. While I like Magical World, Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, Fairy Tales and Folklore, and the Fantastic World of Brothers Grimm, I like Kirby's books for this category more. So, and this one just has all kinds of different things. I mean, again, that's pretty much why it won out, is just the variety of different illustrations you can color. Well, that one would be a good one for March of the Dragons. Or that one. I kind of like the sea dragon. Yeah, I wish I was going to have time to color that this month. I mean, you have so many good illustrations in this book. Yeah, I definitely think that this is the one that I would want out of that category for sure. Just looking at it again confirms that. So my choice for fantasy and fairy tale category, if I could only have one, would be Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes. Okay, next are my Creative Haven books. These are all going to be by Teresa Goodridge, but the one that I chose is Autumn Harvest. The other ones that were considered for this category, again, they're all by Teresa Goodridge. I only have Teresa Goodridge ones from Creative Haven. Country Christmas, Enchanted Christmas, Autumn Charm, and Home for the Holidays. So I chose Autumn Harvest. And I think the reason that I chose this one over Autumn Charm is because I do actually like the illustrations more. Um, I mean, I love the cat. There's a lot more in here that I personally like. You also have, as you can see, some good Halloween pages if you're looking for something a little bit more Halloween than autumn general. Yeah, I miss these books. Looking through these books makes me miss this season for sure. I wish I'll have to think of something because I'm doing Monster March to kind of get the more Halloween specific books brought out a different time of year. I'll have to think of something for autumn at some point to get just autumn in general books out at different times of the year. So for my Creative Haven category, I would choose Autumn Harvest by Teresa Goodridge if I could only have one. Next is the Color Me series, and again, these are all by the same illustrator who we've talked about already, which is Ella Jarzabek. So the one that I would choose for this one, and would not be counting Creepy Kawaii because that's not part of the Color Me series, but I would choose Color Me Easter for kids. The other two would be Color Me Christmas, which you saw me choose for a different category. So see, kind of building off of that. And Color Me Capybaras, which I enjoy, but I don't like that larger format as much. I think that her illustrations are best served in this size. And this is a newer book in my collection, even though I have already finished a page and I am obsessed with it. I love it. I wish I could color every page in here this season. Yes, I know that like not realistic based on I want them to still be good quality. But yeah, I love so many of the pages in here. This is definitely the one that I would want if I could only have one from the Color Me series. Next is the Tales from. So these are all Hanna Karlzon books. Tales from, The Forest Kingdom, Midnight Masquerade, that series. Now, I only own 3. I know that there's quite a few more out there, but the ones that I own are Tales from the Forest Kingdom, Tales from the Witch's Cottage, and Tales from Atlantis. And I chose Tales from the Forest Kingdom. Originally, I thought I would choose Tales from the Witch's Cottage, but I think this one again has a better variety, and I don't know why. I'm planning on finishing up this page in March, but I don't know why I haven't colored in here more. I think just because there's so many illustrations that I like. Like I love this one, that I'm a little intimidated to mess them up, but I need to get over that because it's a coloring book. It's meant to be colored in. So yeah, I don't own like I said, like Tales from the Midnight Masquerade. I think there's another one in there that I think Tales from the City Among the Stars. Yeah, those two didn't really appeal to me, and I don't think I'll get those ones. And then Tales from Atlantis is pretty new to me, um, and I like it a lot more than I thought I would. It seems like that one wasn't as popular, but I really liked what I've seen just flipping through it, and I'm excited to hopefully get a page done in there at some point. So if I could only have one from the Tales from series based on the ones that I have, I would have Tales from the Forest Kingdom, and those are all by Hanna Karlzon. So next are my Asian and Japanese collection of books, and these also include Eerie. So I did choose an Eerie book. It's The Magical Land of Laramia. Also considered for this category was Romantic Country 1, Searching for the Bell by Erie, Searching for the Bell of Happiness. I always forget who that one's by. I'll put it on the screen. Land of Fairies and Magic by Erie, Seasonal Wreaths of Plants and Friends. I'll put who that one is by on the screen. And Romantic Gothic by London Sierzowski, believe, hopefully. Doing all of these illustrators off of memory because I didn't want to write those down too. That would be too much writing of things. So, anyways, the one that I would choose is The Magical Land of Laramia by Erie. And I think, I can't believe I haven't colored in this book still. But I think the reason I chose this one is because I like the more detailed style of Erie. So this is probably my favorite Erie book. And then compared to the other ones, I am having a hard time going back to Seasonal Wreaths of Plants and Friends just because the one page I've done in there I didn't like so much. And I'm wondering if part of it is just I'm not too drawn to the illustration style. I don't know. Romantic Gothic, I've been too intimidated to color in. So I think honestly, if I could only have one, it would definitely be this one, just mainly for this is the one that I'm most likely to color in the most. So it would be the best use of my money and time and all of that fun stuff. So that is my pick for that category. And the last category is animal focused books. So in this category was Kingdom of Curious Creatures, A Million Baby Animals, Symphony of Cute Animals. Oh, sorry. Kingdom of Curious Creatures by Kanoko Igusa, A Million Baby Animals by Lulu Mayo, Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoko Igusa, A Frog's Tale, because I figured, it's still focusing on an animal. That one's by R.J. Hampson. Spirit Animals by Hanna Karlzon, which Spirit Animals does have other pages besides just animals, but even in the title, it's animal focused. So I thought that one needed to be included in this category as well. And if you have watched the channel long enough, I think you'll be able to guess which one is missing from there, which will tell you which one I picked because it's going to come of no surprise. You guys are probably sick of hearing me talk about how much I like this book, but it's Leon's Journey by Kanoko Igusa. I'll be honest, at first I wrote down Symphony of Animals because I was looking at all my books trying to come up with my answers, and this one is in a different pile because I'm planning on coloring it in March. And so I wrote down Symphony of Cute Animals, which it really was a hard choice between this one and that one. I really like Symphony of Cute Animals too. But then I was like, okay, am I missing any of the animal books? And I'm like looking through and I'm like, oh my goodness, of course I'm missing one. I'm missing my favorite one, Leon's Journey. If I could only have one book in my collection, I do think it would be this one. Um, there are still, as you can see, other animals in it. So you even have this owl, which I think is nice because that was why I chose Symphony of Cute Animals. It has just such a good array of animals, but so does this one. Honestly, this one probably has just as many. Yes, it's about the cats, but it really does have so many other illustrations, and it's a storybook. So if I could only have one book that was animal focused from my collection, it would definitely be Leon's Journey. So happy to finally have this in my collection, as I'm sure you're sick of hearing. So those are my 9 categories for if I could only have one book per category. This series is going to be continuing. I believe I have it planned out to continue weekly. So if you want to know what the next one is going to be about, make sure you are subscribed. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and a hype if you feel so inclined. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to do the one book per category video, please make sure to tag me because I love seeing your answers. I will list all the categories that I had for this video in the description, but of course, feel free to make up your own as well. Can't wait to see you on the next time. I think this is going to be a fun series to do, and we will see where it takes us. All right, everybody. Don't forget about Monster March. Start coloring your monster pictures. Get those into me so you can get entered for an Amazon gift card. And I will see you next time. Happy coloring, everybody. Bye.